Okay, mate. We are in. We're good to go. How are you doing, Badger?
Oh, it's Jiggy in the world of Mr. El Bajero, Mr. Croffer. How you doing, mate? Right?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Having a relatively chilled one for New Year's Eve, but that's what happens as you get older. Sort of goes out the window a little bit. It's fine though. It's fine. Having a couple of
The
beers now.
magic goes away when you get older, I guess. Right?
Yeah, it really does, doesn't it? Christmas does as well. I end up just buying my own Christmas presents, man. That's what I did today.
That's so fucking tragic, right?
It's fine. I don't mind. I just get like it's just the classic now as you get older. It's just like socks, underpants, variation of different beanies. That's fine though. It's cool. It's cool. It's fine. You would have thought they'd just go out and get me loads of Blu-rays, but it just doesn't happen. I think they look at that. He doesn't need enough. He doesn't need any more, man. He's got enough there.
That's actually what I did when I last caught up with you. Not when we were recording, but when I last caught up with you. We were talking, and I told you that I spent like 180 quid on Blu-rays for myself. Yeah, I said that I spent 180 quid on Blu-rays for myself, treating myself and shit. And yeah, that was when because I still haven't watched any of the Lethal Weapons yet. Yeah, you were saying like, yeah, you gotta get on it, Badge. You gotta get on it. So I was like, fuck it, why not add that to the list? So I decided right then to start ordering it. I ordered it whilst I was talking to you, and when we were done, I got a message from Amazon saying I can't order it because I don't have enough money. I was like, what the fuck? How do I not have enough money? And then I looked at how much, and it turns out I hadn't spent 180 quid on myself. I had spent 300 quid on myself. I just didn't plan because I'm a fucked up guy.
Mate, two things there, right? It's fine to spend a bit of money on yourself every now and then, mate. It's fine. It's fine.
A bit.
But you'd spent £300. What's an extra £10 going to do to that? Come on, man.
Well, I couldn't because I didn't have more than 300 quid at the time. That's what I mean.
Fair enough. Yeah, now, man, when the day you finally do watch them 4 films, we'll have to do a full breakdown review of it. I'd love to do that.
Yeah, that's fine.
The first one is a brilliant film. I think you'll be down with that one. The rest, not so sure, but we'll see.
I did only when I was a small child, I did see the second Lethal Weapon. I do remember Danny Glover being on the toilet. I remember that.
Yeah, like that's my favorite one. To be fair, second one.
Fair. I don't remember anything from it though. If I'm honest with you, it didn't leave much of an impression on me. I just remember the bomb bit, and I was like, cool.
There's some like South African villains in it. I always remember the accent. It's great. It's brilliant.
Yeah, Africans.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Now talk to me about Avatar. What's been the crack with that, man?
Right. Holy fucking shit. Right. So I'm a bit late at the game on this one, but it's fine. It's fine. So I saw it in 2D. I didn't see it in 3D. But just full disclaimer, that wouldn't change my my opinion on the film. It's not going to make it have. I wouldn't give it more marks just because the 3D was good. I won't be watching it in 3D at home, so I take that equation out of it.
Same.
So yeah, just to like lay the ground of where I'm at with the first film. I saw the first film when it came out. Really enjoyed it. Saw it again. Came out on Blu-ray. Watched it on Blu-ray. It's probably been about 10 years since I've seen the first Avatar. I've never, ever went to go and watch it on like a repeat viewing. Not the same way I do with Aliens or True Lies. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're like multiple. I watch them every year, pretty much. True Lies, maybe not so much, but Aliens, it's like, it's a yearly event in my household. But yeah, so I wasn't like insanely excited about this one. I think like how long it took to make these films. I don't know, man. It's just, I think it's impressive that like it's made all this money and it's the highest grossing film of all time. But in my personal view of it, it hasn't had a cultural impact. It just hasn't, I don't think. I don't think because it's made the most amount of money, that hence means, oh yeah, it's made an impact on pop culture. It hasn't. I just don't think it has. But that's here and there. You know, it's not like they came out with a load of toys after it and stuff like that. Like, you never watch any sort of YouTuber or anybody with a load of Avatar pop figures on the back, but you might start seeing that now. So
you will. They're coming out. They're coming out.
yeah, I've seen Todd McFarlane's range on some of the figures and stuff, and they do look cool. But my thing with that is, because we're both from UK, obviously, like, you know, B&M, the store. So sometimes I go on B&M, and sometimes they've got some like really cool pop figures in there, and I'm like, oh my god, I wouldn't have guessed they were in there. But also, they do have the new Lightyear toys that came out this year. So Lightyear, the with Chris Evans animated film, came out this year. Them toys are already in B&M, and for me, that's like a warning sign that the film didn't do very well. If you understand what I mean.
At Christmas, it makes sense.
Not for a film that came, like B&M normally get the toys in that come out like for films a couple of years after. Therefore, after, do you know what I mean? They don't get like the new line. They get like the lines that aren't selling very well. Do you know what I mean? So therefore, them turning up in B&M. That's all I'm saying. If I see any blue Navi avatars in B&M in 2 months' time, the film hasn't done well. But it has just made $1 billion. So what the hell am I talking about? Anyway, I liked it, man. I liked it. I won't get into spoilers or anything now. You haven't seen it, have you, Badger? Not yet?
No, yeah.
It's good. I will say, it didn't actually drag for me. Like the 3 hour mark, it was pretty well paced. Like, I saw in a couple of reviews before I've seen it that like it drags in the middle a bit. And don't get me wrong, it does get a little bit neo-geographical in the middle bit, but I didn't mind it. I found it quite engaging, if I'm being honest. It's got like a 3-act sort of structure to it. You know, your first, middle, third act. I will say the first and third acts are like really good. Third act's great. James Cameron obviously knows how to do action really well.
Of course, man.
Visually, it's everything you think it's going to be. It looks amazing. But like, there is times though I am watching it and I'm thinking, yeah, this just is the best looking video game cutscene I've ever seen in my life. Sometimes, do you know what I mean? Like, and I will say it's a little bit jarring when you start seeing humans in like the pick in the mix, when there's more humans in the mix. I don't know. It still look good. It still look good. I'm not taking any points away from that, but yeah. A couple of issues I have with it though. Not to spoil anything, like it's not story based. My the dialogue in this film is atrocious. Like, it is horrific at certain points, and mostly just down to the kids. Can I say? Like, there's just, I think it was written pretty terribly as far as the kids are concerned, and the film like really focuses on that aspect, the kids. So you've really got to be sort of invested in them, and if you're not, then I don't know whether this film's going to work for you as such. Like, I said it before going in, and my mind hasn't changed. Sigourney Weaver playing a younger version of herself doesn't work. It just doesn't work for me at all. I think.
Oh shit! Okay.
Look, I haven't really seen anybody else say that. I think it's me it's a me thing, but it didn't work for me at all. Like, I think having the resemblance in the face, the Avatar's face, was enough, and you could have just cast a younger actress to play Sigourney Weaver.
I don't know anything about it because I haven't seen any footage of it. I've just heard of this. I don't actually know what
that's
that
fully not a spoiler.
is.
That's like that's been well out there, documented beforehand.
Well, so she actually is a younger, like, they've used the aging and she looks like a teenager again.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
No, like the Avatar. It's not like her human self.
Okay.
It's like,
I was gonna say.
I'm not gonna say any more why she's even in that. I won't spoil that for you. Do you know what I mean? But like, yeah, she's in it playing a younger version of herself as an Avatar. Jarring. Like, I don't know. She's like, how old is Sigourney Weaver? I don't know, man. Like,
she would never age. Get lost. Don't say that about my queen.
no, it's not that, but like the voice was just it just threw me off, man. It threw me off. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I was invested, but it's just like some really cringy lines of dialogue at times. And yeah, man. What I will say is Sam Worthington really impressed me this time round because I really don't think anything about Sam Worthington, to be honest. Hollywood in 2009 to like 2011, 12 had this like massive thing of trying to put him in a bunch of movies, and it just didn't work. They just wanted him to be this like new action hero, A-lister star, and it didn't work. It didn't work for me because he's just not that good. If we're just being brutally honest, he's the worst part of Salvation, to be fair. But yeah, he was really good in this because there's like obviously more of a focus on like the family aspect of it, and there's like a real like key focus on like a father-son sort of relationship, and he's really good at that. Zoe Saldana isn't actually in the movie much, which is a little bit disappointing because I think she's one of the most strongest aspects of the franchise overall. But yeah, man, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I don't know whether it's a top 5 of the year, but it's definitely a top 10. So for someone who wasn't really that massively wanting to see it, it turned out being okay, man. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's one thing I guess that James Cameron continued with this new one is that the plot and the whole concept is just incredibly simple. Like, no pun, but it is primitive, no pun, and yeah, just real straightforward, but with a lot of crazy spectacle. And you and I are pretty similar actually when it comes to our thoughts on Avatar. Because I'm not really into the big budget A-list AAA explosion stuff usually.
Yeah,
I only really gave it a try because I love James Cameron so much. Do you know what I mean? I just adore the guy, so I only checked it out for that. And yeah, it's one of my least favorite films that he's done, but I did like it a lot. And then I didn't see it for 10 years or something like that. Like 10, actually, if you want to be like pedantic about it, I'd say about 12 years. It was like 2010 since I last saw it. So I got it on Blu-ray recently, and I was blown away by how much of it I could not remember. I saw it a fair bit in my late teens. I couldn't remember any of it. I was like, damn, a lot of it's completely forgettable to me. Still, it looked pretty decent. Did look decent. It held up pretty well. But even back in the day, I didn't think it was the crazy technological advancement that everyone else said it was. Still, I respected it, and it was a solid film. Rewatched it recently, and it was alright. It's pretty good. And then I went to see the film.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah. So Avatar 2. Yeah, what was it? First time I bought 2 tickets. Yeah, so I could go see it, bring someone with me. Aside from the fact that I couldn't find anyone who was free, on top of that, I was bloody knackered. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to sleep through this. I don't care. Knackered. So wasted money there. I thought, fuck it. I'll go and buy a 3rd ticket later on. I did. Went to the cinema. And aside from the fact I almost got into a full-blown scrap with a nasty, drunken bastard who just wouldn't shut up. I asked him to be quiet. He wouldn't listen.
Was this in the film?
Yeah, it was in the theater. He kept yelling at the screen and shit. And I full blown went up to him. I did tell him, can you just stop this bit? I've been asking you already. He just wouldn't listen. And I was like, I'm not going to get a criminal record for this turn. So I was already annoyed by this. But on top of that, the cinema I went to, although like it was an okay size, it's not the most expensive of cinemas. I guess the screenings were cheap or something, I guess. The actual screens are cheap. Or the projector's cheap or something, because the image, it just looked blurry, like kind of blurry. Not so bad that it looked like I walked into a 3D film without the glasses. Not like that. It was just the simple fact that it just looked like ass. I was like, dude, seriously, a DVD looks better than this. A DVD does. This is ass. So I'm not getting a good, like, I'm not seeing any cool effects whatsoever. It doesn't look impressive. There's nothing about it that looks cool. The plot's already going to be really primitive and nothing amazing. So why am I going to sit here for 3 hours dealing with this drunken asshole and also getting pissed off at the screen and shit? Like, what
Not
the fuck
worth
is
it,
this?
man.
So I walked. Exactly. So I was like, you know what, sod it, dude. At the end of the day, I'm not the biggest fan of this anyway, and I doubt it's going to make it my top 10. So I can just do my top 10 video on my YouTube channel and then fuck off. So I just walked out, which I've never done before. 20 minutes in, I bowed.
I felt compelled to watch this before I do any sort of like top 10 ranking, because like I'm in the process of like doing that at the moment, and I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty fun like getting this in like sort of order, because there's a load of films that I haven't seen this year that I'm trying to like catch up on at the moment. There's sorry, just before I change subject, there was one thing I didn't mention about Avatar that I've got to mention, and it's the best thing about the film, so I don't know why I didn't say it. Stephen Merchant is awesome. Stephen Lang, not Stephen Merchant, Stephen Lang. Jesus Christ, Stephen Merchant is not in Avatar: The Way of Water.
I was gonna say, what the
Stephen Lang,
fuck?
who was Quaritch in the first film. I'll just leave it at that, but it's worth it just for him, man. Love that guy. He's a great performer, man. Great performer. Yeah, he's an underrated actor in my opinion, to be honest. Like
he's pretty solid, man. Everything I've seen him in, I've enjoyed. I did think he was generic as fuck in the first one, but it looks like he's pretty cool in this one. Big improvement.
I agree with you, but I do like that generic sort of asshole, like Colonel type character, and I think he just pulls it off amazing. Do you know what I mean? You know them characters that you love to hate. Like he was like one of them for me.
Yeah, fair. I actually walked out of the bit where he returned, 20 minutes in roughly. It was just after he said the line, "Why so blue?" And then I walked out.
Right, okay, right.
It was there. That was when I walked out. I was like, I just can't be fucked with this. And
he's
I've
got
never
a really
walked
good
out of the
arc
cinema before, man. Good.
He's got a good arc in it, man. Yeah.
Good, man. That means they've added layers to it and shit. So that's good. I also like the way he returned. I like that. I like the way he returned and all that. I was like, oh, that's a decent reason.
I enjoyed it, mate. Like I enjoyed it way more than I thought I was going to. Like I'm way more positive about it than I thought I was going to be.
Good.
And like I'm excited.
I've had my opinions colored. I've had my opinion colored. Because think about it. I spent 20 quid on the 3D Blu-ray because it was the only Blu-ray I could get my fucking hand on, right?
Yeah.
I spent 20 quid on the 3D Blu-ray just to watch this new film and catch up on it. Yeah, 20 quid on this Blu-ray just to catch up on it so I could watch this new film. And then I bought 3 cinema tickets just to not even see the fucking film. So it's just been like, oh god, all this money that I've wasted on this fucking thing. So whatever. So I'll get the 4K Blu-ray next year when it comes out, and then I'm just gonna pack it in. I'm sure I'm gonna like it, but I'd much rather chill out and watch my 4K Blu-ray on my 75-inch TV than that shit. On top of that as well, the reason why I did get the Blu-ray of Avatar is because I could have watched on Disney Plus, but dude, man, stream it. As I said, I stream all the time. As an avid physical media fan, I do prefer physical media, but I still like streaming, of course.
Yeah, I do as well. There's just some things that you like. I streamed Boiling Point the other night on Netflix, so just one of that.
But some of it looks like ass sometimes, dude. Some of it looks like ass. Avatar looked like ass. And I was like, yeah, I don't want that compressed image, man. I go get the Blu-ray. So,
I've got a bit of a rule of thumb with it, mate. Like, if it's a film where it's primarily like a drama or a thriller where it doesn't have major special effects in it, I'm cool with like a streamed down, compressed version of it. That's fine. If it's a film I really enjoyed, then I'll go out and buy the pristine 4K or whatever. But I've just got like rules with it. Do you know what I mean? Like.
The exact same. Again, we're the same in that regard. I watched The Good Nurse for the first time recently on Netflix. Oh, yeah,
that's another one that I need to get into. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I freaking loved it. It almost made it in my top 10. It was an honorable mention on my latest video. And yeah, it looked like ass. I just didn't care because it's like not the type of film that needs it. But yeah, badass stuff, man. Badass stuff.
I think that's the Netflix original as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is. So I don't know if it gets a. Some Netflix things come out and get a physical release. Not everything. Like I just watched I watched Glass Onion recently on Netflix. I was just wondering because obviously like I've just got the Knives Out on Blu-ray. It was like on offer in HMV, the first one. So I'm just wondering if they'll release that second one on physical media.
Irishman and Uncut Gems, Marriage Story. They made it out.
Yeah.
Netflix
They got Criterion versions as well, didn't they? The Irishman did anyway.
But yeah, you know, I think they were all
Marriage Story
Criterion.
did as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and oh shit, yeah, you're right. They were all. Thank you, Criterion.
I haven't
Always
seen
reliable.
Marriage Story. It's on the list to watch. 2022. If there's one takeaway from the year that you could have, what would it be?
Originality. I did say this on my recent video when I was talking about my top 10 best films of the year.
Yeah.
I
awesome video, by the way. Go and check that
you.
out if you haven't. It was a good list, man. Solid list.
Cheers. I didn't know that you'd seen it, but yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah. What impressed me the most is that there was this just huge list of original flicks that came out that was so crazy and abstract and just odd, like in structure, tone, pacing, all of it, where they just played by their own rules, sort of thing. And I was very brutally honest about it. The vast majority of them, I don't like. I found a lot of them tedious, boring, didn't do much for me. However, I still recommended everyone check them out because, god damn, they're original stuff, and most people like them. I'm the odd one out, so check them out. But there were some that I did enjoy, and yeah, it was just this crazy amount of shit that I saw that was just like, what the hell? Like Men, that was just weird as shit. Hellbender, that was strange as well. I don't know what the hell that flick was. Banshees of Inisherin. I don't know how to say that name. I can't remember. Yeah, there's just loads and loads of them. Even Halloween Ends because of how different that was compared to all the other stuff. But a lot of that didn't work for me. I didn't like those films. I really didn't. Just bored me too much. I like slow-paced films, but those films took the piss. I was like, nah, fuck this.
What did you not like Banshees?
Oh no, odd one out. I know I'm the odd one out. I do like that whole style. I love that style. I just didn't find anything engaging in it. I was very bored throughout the whole thing. And I usually love that type of thing. I do. Just didn't work for me.
I'm the polar opposite there. I absolutely loved that film. It was really
everyone else is. Everyone else is. But there were some more original ones that I did like. I was really into Triangle of Sadness. That was badass. I did like Triple R as well. That was pretty unique. Yeah, there was just a number of them. I did like The Stranger with our guy, Sean Harris, man. Hell yeah. Yeah, some original stuff that came out that I was into. And I did enjoy it. So that's what I took with you.
Yeah, I'm in total agreement with you. 100%. Like, I think if there's one takeaway I have from, like, when you start doing your list, it starts becoming really apparent, like, the flavors of the year and what's stuck and what hasn't. And the originality, definitely. Like, it's been a really good year for horror, I think. There's been, like, a really wide range of horror films that have come out. You've had your slow-paced ones that have come out. You've had your more minimalistic horror films that have come out. But then you've had, like, your classics, like arguably a franchise that I've got no interest in, but Scream. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's like a classic of the genre. Texas Chainsaw Massacre wasn't great, but there's like a lot of original and a lot of known IPs from back when, like you mentioned Halloween Ends, which is a funny old film. One that I'm going to complete that little trilogy of films. I didn't mind it, to be honest.
I'm glad to hear. I'm glad you had something for it. I'm glad.
Just now that the dust is settled from that, and now I can watch Halloween Ends and just be like, yeah, I'm watching like a loved up YA novel play out. But now I'm prepared for it anyway. Excuse me. But yeah, man, it was a bad year for comic book movies. I know that's not your thing, but like we've been like chokehold, like with comic book films, like the last 10 years, like it's been nothing but, and they seem to be like the main focus of Hollywood right now, which is sort of understandable. They're the ones bringing in the most money, but yeah, it was sort of a win for original films this year and not for the comic book films, which is good. And that's coming from someone who loves comic book films, but it just, there was too many hits this year. Like I really think the only decent thing to come out this year that's going to have any sort of lasting impact is the Batman. But
I disagree. I think Morbius will definitely be the one that we look back on as a classic and a masterpiece.
Oh yeah, there'll be a giant shit stain on 2022.
I haven't even seen it yet. I'm just joking. I haven't even seen it.
Mark that you just can't get off them pants, man. You just like you've washed them 10 times and it's just still there. Fuck's sake, man.
Fucking hell. Yeah, what did surprise me as well, considering that these like big budget A-list films don't commonly do it for me when they've got loads of spectacle in there. Surprisingly, a big number of them ended up on my top 10. Big fan of Top Gun Maverick. As someone who's never ever connected with Batman, I can't believe that The Batman is number 5 for me. I thought that film was fucking awesome. Yeah, there's just loads of big budget films that ended up on that list. The Northman and all that. I was like, shit, man. Bullet Train as well was fucking badass.
Oh, what a film that is, man. That was so good. That was a bit of a shocker for me because I came to it a little bit late on that one. I didn't even see it in the cinema, to be honest. I just, you know, when you see like a trailer for a film and like you've just sort of got the whole thing sort of like planned out in your head, and I don't know. I just thought there was nothing going to be surprising in that film. And while there wasn't anything overly surprising in it, it was just done really well. And I'm a big fan of Aaron Taylor-Johnson, and I thought he was fucking superb in that film.
Yeah, dude. What was it? Tangerine and Lemon or whatever they were called?
Yeah, mate. And you know what it is, right? It really annoyed, like the Thomas the Tank Engine analogy really annoyed me, right? And it was annoying me for like the first half of the film, but then like the second half of the film and like right near the end when he brings it back, I was almost like in tears. Do you know what I mean?
I loved it. Yeah, dude. And also, I worked out as well. I actually didn't know this came from the director of Deadpool 2. I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, this is it. This is why I sort of gave it a little bit of a miss, because I was like, this is just a John Wick, but with Brad Pitt. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like, but saying that, they're all good films anyway, and they're the films that I like to support and stuff. So Bullet Train for being like you say, like an original film, original sort of idea. And how insane is that cast? Oh, like at the end, you said you really enjoyed the was it the end of the film where I don't know, should we spoil it or I don't know?
Oh no, I was talking about the mid-credit scene. Maybe we shouldn't spoil it, but I was talking about that.
Not. Yeah. Okay.
I full-blown cried with laughter. Full-blown cried. And I did. I full-blown screamed. What I was gonna say something else about it as well. Fight humor, what the hell was it? There we go. Yeah, it was the Deadpool 2 thing. I worked out that it came from the director of Deadpool 2, where we got that dead quick cameo from Ryan Reynolds, the dead quick one. And once that happened, obviously I fucking pissed myself when that happened. I laughed my ass off for that. But it was so quick. And then I worked out after, as the film was going on, hold on. Brad Pitt got a dead quick flash cameo in Deadpool 2. And I was like, is that a reference to that? Hold up. And then
maybe that was the origin of the idea for Bullet Train.
I don't know. Who knows? It could be. But either way, that was what I looked it up, and I was like, "Oh, it is the director of Deadpool 2." I see it now, and it's exquisite. Maybe not. Yeah. I didn't say it was the most original one. That I wouldn't put that on one of the more original lists. But I'm saying it was a big budget film, a big action film that made on the list for me, and that's not usually my scene. And I'm surprised by how much I loved it. I thought it was fucking exquisite. Easily one of the best films of the year. It's fucking exquisite. Laughed my bollocks off when I saw it, man. That mid-credit scene, I was just wet, man. My face was wet as fuck. I was laughing my ass off at it. So it's really impressive.
It reminded me of like a Guy Ritchie film that's had like a bunch of toxic waste sour sweets. Do you know what I mean? Like too many of them.
Oh dear.
Yeah. I loved it though. I loved it, man.
Yeah, the whole year for me though was just mainly about originality for me. There's just been so much odd shit, and I'm like, dude, original film is still going on, and I've barely scratched the surface as far as I can tell. Yeah, have you ever heard of Triangle of Sadness?
No, I haven't. I was going to ask you what is that?
I
Is it a
did
film or is it
briefly,
a
yeah.
series?
There was a film. I briefly mentioned it at the beginning of my video, where I was giving some shout outs to the original films. Even the ones I didn't like, I said check them out, right? Triangle of Sadness was one that I did like. Now it's very flawed, but holy shit. It's a weird comedy satire thing. Just to simplify it, it's just about models who are like taking a vacation on like some boat. What are they called?
Oh, yes. Right. Okay. Right. So the only reason I haven't watched this yet, and I really want to watch it, yes, I know exactly what you mean. Has it got Woody Harrelson in it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I do want to watch this. I'm dying to watch it, but I just can't
Mhm.
find it yet. I need to find it. I don't know whether it's up yet, but yeah, it's one that I'm trying to sort of navigate getting in before I do my end of year list. There's that, and there's Crimes of the Future that I still want to watch. But yeah,
Mhm.
I want to watch that, man.
No,
100%.
well, I wasn't gonna spoil it anyway, but I do. But yeah, check it out. I do like it. The biggest flaw for it is just the fact that it's a big satire on posh people, like snobby people.
I like that
But
though.
yeah,
I
no,
sort
I
of like
like it too.
I like the
Me too.
satire feel of things. Like it was
Me
the
too.
same with
The problem
Bodies,
was it
Bodies,
just had no
Bodies.
subtlety. It just had no
Yeah,
subtlety to it. And I was like, come on, man, look, dude, they're an easy target. Posh people are an easy target and all that. So it's like, eh.
hundred
But
percent.
it did work. It did work. What was amazing about it is that all three acts are incredibly different from one another. And it's
Good.
just odd. It's just odd. You don't know where it's going to go. It's just weird, all the random shit it introduces. And then halfway through the film, at one point, loads of people get sick with food poisoning. And
Right. Okay. I already knew
what,
that, so that's okay. You didn't spoil that bit there, but
no, yeah, I already knew that as well going in. I just didn't know it was going to be what it was. It was like a good 20 minutes of full blown diarrhea everywhere in a rocking boat. And it comes out of the toilet and gets in people's faces and shit. Then they vomit it up and goes all over everyone. And I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? It's going on for 20 minutes, man. I've never seen
I
anything like it.
I really like the sound of it, mate. And it does look like the sort of film that I'd really enjoy. But I'm gonna wait until my partner, like Georgia, she wants to watch it as well. But like, yeah, mate. I think it's a film that me and her both sort of enjoy. Like, if it's that sort of satire look on,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know,
It's
what is it, like high class or middle class sort of like
high
satire?
class. No, rich
Uh,
people and
right.
models, all of it. It's very, very slow paced. It's very peculiar, but I was very much into it. I really liked it, but it was fucking odd. It's just
Did
been
you
a
see?
weird year.
Did you catch it? Bodies, bodies, bodies. This year,
No, but I've heard of it.
right? So it sort of gives me the same sort of feeling as that film. That was like a satire, satirical look on like influencers. Just give me that vibe, but with the rich.
Mhm. Well, that's in there. They
Yeah,
do
man.
mention, yeah, the influence aspect of it. Yeah.
Mate, this sounds
Yeah.
good. This sounds good.
Mhm.
Sounds like a film I want to check out, man. 100%.
Go for it. Solid flick. I was very much into it. Well, if it comes out on Blu-ray, I'll get it the first chance I get. I find it depressing that it's always debatable whether or not a film will come out on physical media nowadays. It's
Yeah,
always debatable, isn't it? But
that
yeah,
isn't
hopefully
good,
it
man.
does. I
That's the
know it's not.
first year that questions ever arose in my lifetime.
Hmm.
There's
Yeah, I'd
never
say
been
so.
in my lifetime. There's never been a film that's come out that you couldn't get on physical media. Not anything as big as what Prey and arguably Barbarian were this year.
Yeah, we better get those two. We better do.
I'm gonna hunt down like bootleg versions of them. I've already looked at the Prey ones. There's bootleg Prey versions out there, but I
Yeah,
don't like the
Sam.
artwork that they're producing for the bootleg, so I'm not gonna get it. I might have to do
Who
my
the
own.
hell? Who the hell decides that, man? Who the hell looks at Prey and goes, "Yeah, we're just gonna keep it on Disney
You know
Plus"?
what I think it is? Because it's only happened with, well, as far as I can tell, it's only happened with Fox films that were in that merger when they were getting bought over by Disney. So films
Yeah,
that were like in production back in the day when they were still Fox, when they crossed over to Disney, some weird shit has happened where they only have to like put them on. It's different for us in the UK. I think it's on Hulu in America, but for us it's Stars over here on Disney Plus. But I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm gonna get the Predator on 4K Steelbook. I'm just gonna do it. So if I'm getting that shit on Steelbook, you've got to release Prey. It's like, in some people's like best movie since the first one, but I don't think it is. So it's fourth best, fourth best,
third for me. But yeah, even Hellraiser hasn't come out yet.
Oh my god, that's another one, Badger. You're right, yeah, man. And I don't think that was a Fox film.
Yeah, I like that one. Remake was good. I want that.
Hellraiser is pretty close to my top 10. I don't think it's in the top 10, but it's quite up there. It's higher than I thought it was going to be. I really enjoyed that film.
Another one as well that I really did like that I want on Blu-ray as well. Flawed as fuck and insanely predictable. But Jesus Christ, I thought Samaratin was mad fun. The Samaratin, I thought that was mad fun.
That's like, me and you were on an island with that one.
I know, yeah.
I enjoyed it as well.
Dude, I enjoyed that one. I don't know. We might agree on this, right? It felt to me like those films that if we grew up with them, we'd like them a hell of a lot more. Do you know what I mean? Like,
all the films I love, like arguably not very good films. Do you know what I mean? But because I grew up with them in the 90s, they're like the Godfather Part 2 to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to convince me Batman Forever is not a good film. Fucking great film. But yeah, man. It's like that. You're right. It reminded me of like a late 90s film. You know what it reminded me of? Have you seen Steel with Shaq? You got to see. If you haven't seen that film, you've got to see it, man. Look, it's better than Steel with Shaq, but
dude, they are not comparable, dude. Jesus Christ.
They are, man. They're exactly the same.
Nah, Samara was awesome. Well, no, I thought it's possible. It's pretty good. I remember I gave it like a 6.5 out of 10, and it was flawed as hell, dude.
I have to admit, when I was doing my fucking top 20, right, and I was getting all the films in and stuff like that, it's like every film I've seen this year. But like I forgot it even came out this year. I was like, oh shit, Samaritan came out this year. I'll quickly add that to it. I'm not saying it's like anywhere near the top 10. It's not, but I enjoyed it. It's like some people have like, you know, our mate Andy from Electric Geek, he thought Morbius was like a passable, enjoyable film. And it sort of is, you know what I mean? And that film does sort of incorporate that late 90s, early 2000s feel. A lot like Venom does. Do you know what I mean? It's like in that category of like sort of shit 90s films that somehow came out now, which is fine. We still need films like that, man. It wasn't majorly effects heavy. Like it was like a nice sort of just low level, like semi superhero film.
Grounded.
Yeah, grounded. That is exactly the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I really like it. It's a solid little flick. It's possible, man. It's bad fun. I have no idea why everyone was so against it. I was like, no, I see its weaknesses, and it is insanely predictable. That twist, I was like, come on, dude, you saw it coming instantly. But fuck me, it was so cool, and it's like kicked ass in it. I fucking loved it. Like I loved seeing it kick ass.
Yeah, I like seeing Sly kick a lot of ass, and he did in Samaritan. And it was just like a. I like the whole tone of it as well. Just like this grimy, sort of dingy, like street level hero.
Yeah, man.
Great. And I'm a dummy because I never saw that twist coming. I didn't know he was the evil one. I thought he was a good guy, man. You know, because he had that twin, didn't he? I even like them effects where he was like aged down. I was like, yeah, man, I'm about this.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. If that was on Blu-ray, I'd get it instantly. If it was on Blu-ray, instantly. I also thought it was a decent year for shows as well. I don't commonly watch TV shows, but the ones I've seen, for the most part, I've been into. Obviously, Dahmer, you and I both love that one.
Yeah, that is definitely one of my favorites of the year. It's not my favorite, but I would say it would sort of land in the two spot.
What's number one?
Andor, 100%.
Okay.
100%.
No, good or bad. Everyone's raving about it.
I had a visceral connection to that show.
Good.
Wasn't expecting it. Sort of just came and gave me like a left hook.
Dude, I need to check it out, man. I do.
Just one day in the future. It doesn't have to be now. It doesn't have to be the next 6 months, but just one day in the future. Check it out, man. I think you'll enjoy it.
I will do, but when I want to indulge in Star Wars again, I will do, because it's pissed me off too much. I just want to distance myself from it. But yeah,
I will say it doesn't feel anything like Star Wars. I think that's the main reason why I enjoyed it. But
we'll see.
Like the music and stuff like that. Oh, Andor was great. Andor was great. Great, loved it.
I'm in the process of watching The Patient right now with Steve Carell.
All right.
And the guy who played as Hux, he's in it too. It's on Disney Plus, and yeah, it's fucking Gleason? Solid. I can't remember his name. The ginger guy. Can't remember his name.
Yeah, is that oh my god, is that Brendan Gleeson's son? I might be tripping out there.
I don't know the names at all. Yeah, it's a solid little thriller, man. I'm really into it. It's nice. It's, yeah, Steve Carell's playing as a therapist who gets kidnapped by this guy, by a serial killer. He gets kidnapped, and he doesn't want to hurt Steve Carell. He just wants help. He's like, "Look, I'm a serial killer. I want to stop. You're a good therapist. Can you help me get better?" and all that. So that's why he's kidnapped him and shit. And it's just odd, but it's pretty quirky, pretty gripping. And Steve Carell's great. I like seeing stuff where comedians do serious roles, and he's good. He's good.
Is this TV? Yeah, is this show?
Yeah, it's a show. It's on Disney Plus right now. The Patient.
All right, cool.
Pretty good. I did also watch. It was one of those things where it was so good that whenever something went wrong, it just fucked me off so much. I did watch this show called The Watcher on Netflix. That I thought
amazing.
Oh, you've seen it, have you?
Right, I've got some things to say about that one. But yeah, go for it.
Well, I was just simply saying, I thought it was phenomenal. Right, I was watching, I was like,
I was hooked.
Damn, yeah, same. I couldn't stop. It was just so freaking great, and just dead quick as well. Something else I've noticed this year for me, I'm actually impressed that this year I've genuinely been scared. Watching like certain horror films. So even though you didn't like it, I fucking love Smile, and I found it genuinely scary, especially toward the end. Barbarian scared the fucking shit out of me at times, like full blown, man. The first half hour, I was like, what the fuck? Heartbeat racing, man. The Watcher did the same thing. I was full blown scared watching it, full blown. I was like, what the hell's going on, man? This shit is sinister. It's creepy. And I was so heavily infected by it. I thought it was perfection. And then pretty much it just randomly ended on way too much of an open no, which did bother me. I was like, what the fuck? So that irritated me. And it looks like we are getting a second season, which is cool. The problem is, though, is that when they made the show, they didn't intend on there being a second season, from what I've heard. I might have that twisted. I don't know, but from what I've read, if I remember correctly, you said that was never the plan. It's like, well, number one, that means that it's stupid that it's just going to be too open. That's just stupid as far as I'm concerned. You shouldn't plan to have it that open and just after setting up all this mystery. That sucks. Number two, so cool. I like the idea of getting a second season that hopefully fills in some of the gaps. But it wasn't planned. And the last time something like this happened where it wasn't planned, we got the Star Wars trilogy recently. So
they don't exist.
Amen.
Couple of questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I really enjoyed it, right? Loved it. I started it on the morning. I finished it on the night, right? It was just a straight boom, exactly like I did with Dharma, right?
Mm-hmm.
So... And the only reason I watched it is because I saw you recommend it. So I was like, right,
I'm
going to watch this. I saw Badger recommend it. Because wasn't it a friend of yours that recommended it to you? Then I was like, I'll watch it. Because I wanted to watch it anyway. When I scrolled past it on Netflix, I thought, oh, this looks like a bit of me. But to be fair, the only thing that sort of put me off was the lead in it, the guy. Like, he's actually really good. He's like a really good character actor. He's been in loads of films.
Yes.
Like loads of gangster films, loads. You've seen him in many a film, but this was like the first time I've really seen him as a lead. And to be fair, I think he lost like loads of weight and stuff. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Really, really fucking good, Badger. Really good. But then it was the last episode that just I wanted to chuck myself out the window because of how abrupt it ended. Like, very much a similar situation with a film I watched this year, Don't Worry, Darling. I sort of really enjoyed that film, but that it asks too many questions than it answers. And The Watcher did the same thing. And I was really disappointed by that. And also, my second thing is, I thought this was based off a true story. So I thought this was all. I thought that was it. I thought that was like sort of what had sort of happened. So are they making stuff up for a season 2, or is the stuff there?
They're making stuff up for season 2 because it is partly inspired by a true story, yeah. And it's just, oh, dude, I don't know. It's a shame. We'll see, though. We'll see. You never know.
You know what really had me hooked? Like, just forget. It's not really a spoiler, but it sort of is. But it doesn't matter. Like, everyone go and watch this show. I think it's the second episode. I think he's trying to find out what the hell's going on, and he has a conversation with a guy who lived in the house prior.
Oh, fuck me. I had goosebumps when that happened.
Yes, such a good sequence. It's so good. And they're like the child walking into the living room. Badger, if you know me, you know I like cults and shit like that, man. Like,
yes, of course.
I was like, oh my God, is this going to be for me? And it just sort of never gets brought up again, but that's fine. I think it's because he was like, I won't spoil it. If you haven't seen it, The Watcher, decent Netflix. Stick it on. It's got a bit of a shit ending, but if they're saying there's going to be season 2, then I'm all in. And I like Naomi Watts. I think that's her name, but
yes,
she's really
she was
good
great.
Everything I've seen her in. I think she was in. Have you seen a film called Funny Games with Tim Roth?
Yeah,
is she in that? Is it Naomi Watts in that?
Yeah, it was one of the most annoying remakes of all time because
I haven't seen the OG one. I need to watch that.
But you don't. You've seen it. It's shot for shot the exact same as the OG, even with the music.
Oh, is it?
All the shots are recreated. All of it's in there. Still, I guess that doesn't mean the remake was still good. But yeah, solid flick, I guess. But it's bonkers. Yeah, dude, dead quick as well. Have you ever heard of a show called Defending Jacob?
No. I don't know if it rings a bell.
Like 2 years ago it came out. Who was the guy who played as Captain America?
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans, yeah. Had him in it.
Was it on Apple?
I think it was, yeah. Him and J.K. Simmons. J.K. Simmons, yeah.
Was it a series? Sure.
Yeah, it was pretty brief as well. I can't remember how many episodes there were, like 6 of them, and that was it. It was just this Defending Jacob, this boy Jacob, possibly killed this kid, and his dad has to defend him in court and that kind of thing. It's unbelievably tense. Came out some years ago, and I thought it was just like this perfection. I thought it was.
If it's the thing I'm thinking of, it was an Apple series, and there was a bit of me that wanted to watch it because, if I'm being honest, I thought it looked like a Fincher sort of directed thing.
Well, all of the layers to it, there is so much shit going on in that show, right? And I thought it was better than The Watcher. I thought it was just this exquisite, ingenious show that was just, oh my God. And dude, the last episode came, and I don't know, man. All it made me think was keep off the crack. Like, what were they thinking, man? It just made no sense, no answers. It takes us on this random, bizarre journey. Loads of strange shit happens that doesn't aid anything. It just happened, and then boom, credits go up. No season 2. We're never gonna get a season 2. Complete waste of my time. I was like, holy dick. And it really hurts when shows do that, man. So yeah, The Watcher almost reminded me of that. But if I'm honest with you, even if we didn't get a season 2 of The Watcher, the ending's still better than Defending Jacob. It's just fuck.
Oh, well. I hope that's like a trend that doesn't last.
Yeah, man. We'll see, man. We'll see. Yeah, I also wasn't a fan of Better Call Saul. When I finished that one, I just really wasn't into it, which I know I'm on an island there. But as an avid Breaking Bad fan, I definitely expected more. I loved the first season of Better Call Saul. I just thought it kind of declined after that, and I thought it went on way too long. But I don't mind. I still got Breaking Bad, and I still get El Camino, which I adored. So I'm fine with it, really. So hey ho.
Yeah, it was a good year for TV. Good year all in all. I'm trying to think of any other shows that I watched. Like me and you aren't big TV people, so I don't really watch that much TV. It's like the odd ones, but yeah. I mean, is there anything else we need to recap this year? I don't know. I'm trying to think. I've got my phone out, guys. Sorry, I'm not being rude. I'm just trying to look at my my list of what I've watched this year. Oh my god, mate! I watched. Sorry, just to get into some disappointments of the year. I think we've said a lot about some stuff that we enjoyed this year. Disappointments. Any movies that disappointed you this year?
Yeah, the Black Phone was one of them.
Boom. Let's talk about that because that disappointed me thoroughly. You know what? You know what's hilarious? I'm saying it disappointed me. You know what I've just done before the stream? I went and bought it. But yeah, it was still a major disappointment. But Badger, why was it a disappointment, mate?
Well, I don't really think it's too bad that you bought it because I think it's a decent flick. It's possible. It's like a 6 out of 10 for me.
I like
It's
the
possible.
director, Scott Derrickson. I'll probably buy anything he releases.
Ethan
Recently,
Hawke was good in it too. He had loads of fun. You could tell he was having fun.
Ethan Hawke was unreal in it. That's the reason I bought it, man.
So yeah, it's cool. Had some good ideas. The problem is, just didn't do enough with it. There was so much random shit going on in there. Didn't seem to be any explanations as to how or why it was going on. It was just some random shit. And I thought it just didn't do all that much. Once he's kidnapped and all that, it just doesn't really go anywhere. Now I love grounded stuff. You have to bear in mind, you're talking to a guy who's an avid fan of Buried, a film which is set entirely in a box. You know what I mean? Buried underground. I think it's a masterpiece. I adore that film. A full-blown masterpiece. That's one of the best films I've ever seen. Best experiences I've ever had in a film. So I love slow-paced films. I love limited stuff. But that one, I was like, dude, this is taking the piss. It just doesn't really do all that much. It just took so long to do anything. And by the end of it, I was like, well, just played it safe. It wasn't that brave. It, as you said to me, it really does feel like a silly remake of Home Alone by the end of it. I was like, yeah, you're right. It's goofy.
Yeah,
Ethan Hawke does kind of turn into the Wet Bandits by the end in areas. And it was just really disappointing. Still good. It's possible. I like it. I do like it. It's not a bad film, and I would recommend people check it out. But it's nowhere near the film other people said it's nowhere near what I thought it was going to be. That's what I mean.
I think I'll go as far as say it's my biggest disappointment of the year. Just in fact, guys, we went on Andy's stream and said all this, but like it's fine. It is my biggest disappointment of the year because I was expecting so much of it beforehand. Scott Derrickson, to me, when it comes to horror, he's a bit of he's solid. Like I love the first Sinister film. I love it. I think it's amazing, to be honest. Like we say, we don't. We've got scared this year by a couple of horror films, but in the last 10 years, I don't feel that fear that I used to anymore when I'm watching a horror film.
Fair.
Sometimes I do, but sometimes I don't. Sinister, when it turns into them homemade footage, get me the hell out of here, man. Like the sound design, everything, amazing. So, and also a really, really amazing film, The Exorcism of Emily Rose, which I think is spectacular, to be honest. Where, like, if you want something different from an exorcism film, that is like the perfect thing because it's a courtroom drama, essentially. That's what it is. It's a courtroom drama with an exorcism in it. Really good. Check that out if you haven't. But excuse me. Black Phone, yeah. Ethan Hawke is so good in it. Like, annoyingly so good in his character, and I want to know more about him. Like, if they came out in a couple of years and said, like, we're going to do a prequel, and it's going to be, like, all about Ethan Hawke, I'd be like, just show me more of that. Because it's so good, like, down to, like, the first 15 minutes, 20 minutes of the film spectacular, I think, where it's just him grabbing kids. Like, like, it's creepy. It's fucked up. Like the silhouettes of him holding the balloons and the top hat and the mask. It's a great character that's like being introduced into the horror world in a shit film, basically. I just the kids aspect and the whole like psychic element to it just sort of took me out of it a little bit. I just didn't think it needed the supernatural element to it.
I was kind of there with it. Yeah, pretty much. I kind of do see it back and forth with you. Like, it just could have been so much more. Definitely. I did say just that it was like the most disappointing film for me. Maybe not actually, because when I think about it, I think that was Halloween Ends, maybe. Because I happen to really like the previous one, Halloween Kills, a lot more than most people. And then this one came out and it was like, dude, this is such a lame third one, like a lame ending for this whole thing. And it's like, oh, fuck's sake. Yeah, I'd say possibly that one. I'm not too sure. So yeah, those ones, I guess. The worst one for me, though, easily Jeepers Creepers Reborn. That's one of the worst films I've ever seen.
Right, so that was going to be my next one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ! So being a fan of like,
you seen it?
Yeah.
Why, you twat? I told you not to.
Nah, no, but I had to see it for myself, and you weren't wrong. Like, this is right. So just like quick one, spoiler alert. Like I've got like I don't know.
What's
by the end of it,
spoil?
it's my worst film of the year, like without a doubt. There must be about 50 films on my list so far this year. That one's at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? What happened there?
Dude, I don't even understand it. I really don't get it. How this happened. It is atrocious on so many levels. It is one of the worst. Yeah, it's one of the worst films I've ever seen. It's the first ever 1 out of 10 I've given on my YouTube channel. First ever one when I reviewed it, and I actually full blown, because this is the thing, dude. I haven't done it yet on my YouTube channel yet, but I actually do go the extra mile for some things. There are some films that I actually will genuinely give an 11 out of 10. I just haven't reviewed them yet. There are some films out there I give a 0 out of 10. This one was so close. The only reason why I didn't give it a 0 is because at least it didn't truly offend me. At least there weren't real images of kids dying or animals being tortured. It's not like cannibal Holocaust stuff. I wasn't truly offended.
No, it had something equally as worse.
What's that?
CGI, backgrounds. What are we doing?
No, that's not. That's not just as bad as tortured animals and dying kids. You twat.
Fucking work, okay. No, Badger. Honestly, mate, that was one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life. Like, truly was. And like, this is horrible because me and Badger are both fans of like the franchise. I would say, like, we like the concept of it.
The first
two, 100%. Third one's a piece of shit, but I will say this one makes the third one look fucking amazing. So what the hell's going on?
Yeah, I know. I did say that in my review. The thing it does best is that it makes the third one look pretty mediocre, as opposed to the abysmal trash I once thought it was. It actually got elevated.
At least it follows like its own rules of its law. Like this new one, Jesus. It was just like not only like aesthetically as a film and it being made as a film. Like the only real environment there was like the like parade that they go to, like the fair in the middle of it, and that was terrible. It was horrific. It looked like it was getting filmed for like an advert. Like, hey, come visit this like Halloween park in October, Halloween. Blah, 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 blah. No, get this out of this film right now. All these characters are horrific, like truly horrific. It's the first 20 minutes of the film that's like really just like, what am I watching here? Like the first 20 minutes of the film, like up until where they get to the shop and they're in the shop trying to buy like messing about with spears and stuff like that. And they open the door and like the whole outside area is just a CGI green like atrocity. Like no.
It was so crazy. All the characters were fucking lame. The effects were terrible. It's supposed to be a Jeepers Creepers film, But now the creeper just kills at random rather than smelling people in order to eat them. He just kills everyone at random. He hardly does kill anyone, and the few he kills, there's nothing creeper-esque about it. It's just, oh look, someone fell off a church roof and is dead. It's like that's the type of shit we've got. It's just piss shit. The effects are fucking horrendous. The act, all of it, the creeper makeup looked like shit. And the craziest element of the whole thing is that it actually tried to do the meta thing. It tried to state that the first three films were just films. This is the real thing that those three films were based off of. It's like, what? The fuck made you think that? It's awful. And this is the craziest bit. Apparently, they're thinking about doing a sequel, and I'm like,
no way. I don't think it'll happen.
It better not, dude. And if it does, I won't be watching it because it's not even so bad that it's good. It's not even funny accidentally. It's just pure shit. I was horrified. I was pure. Wow. It's just so depressing, so boring, so.
It's depressing because the idea of the creep is so good, and it's I don't know, man. Disappointing. Anything else that really was a highlight of a bit of a that wasn't so good this year?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, that wasn't great.
That was close to being my worst of the year until I saw Jeepers Creepers. That again, that's actually twice that's happened. 10 years ago, we got Texas Chainsaw 3D, which was trying to be the true sequel to the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I used to think it was an abysmal piece of shit. But then this recent one tried doing the exact same thing. Then I looked back at it and I was like, it's not so bad. 10 years ago, that film wasn't too bad. This one makes that look better. Same thing with Jeepers Creepers. I used to think the third one was atrocious until this one came along. So yeah, that's twice that's happened now this year. Weird. But yep, it's just been lame. Yeah, that's me really. What about you?
Me, I'll agree with you on the Texas thing. The problem with that Texas Chainsaw Massacre film is, for me, like, it would have got more of a pass if it was focused on the little town they were focusing on and the kids, but bringing the element of the original final girl from the first film, it just didn't work whatsoever. It was just a really bad interpretation of the Laurie Strode thing from Halloween. Is it Sally she's called?
Leatherface has also been retconned into another invincible killer. You can shoot him over and over again. It won't kill him. He's a ninja now. I don't know. It's just also shit. I hate him.
He's a ninja.
He was like a ninja, dude. He was killing people like a fucking ninja. I thought every element of it was atrocious, apart from the main girl on it. What was her name? Sarah Yarkin. I thought she was great. Hopefully this doesn't harm her career because she's going to go on to do good things. She was good in it. The rest of it is just abysmal trash. I couldn't believe how shit it was. I was stunned. But then Jeepers Creepers came along. I was like, whatever. Fuck all that, dude.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
What about next year? What are you looking forward to anyway?
Yeah, so close down 22. What we're looking for in 2023. My main thing is my main movie that I'm looking forward to is Doom Part 2.
Oh yeah.
100%.
I haven't seen the first one yet.
I'd maybe even wait. I'd probably wait until the second one's out and Doom in a Warner.
Yeah, I probably will do. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I say, that first film's really good, but it's very much a part one of one film, and you can feel that. Other thing I'm really looking forward to is Oppenheimer, but only because of the last trailer that came out. I thought the trailer was absolutely magnificent. Oppenheimer is with Cillian Murphy, the new Christopher Nolan film.
Yeah, Cillian Murphy.
Cillian, I always say Cillian. Sorry, everyone. Cillian Murphy. Yeah, man. Did you see the new trailer? I know you don't watch a lot of trailers these days, but
that's right. Yeah, I haven't. I haven't seen it.
I would recommend it because I don't think it spoils anything, and I think it gives you a good feeling of what the feel of the movie is going to be, which I wasn't stoked for beforehand. Sorry, but watching the trailer, it's just a really good trailer. Cool. Really good trailer. It doesn't spoil anything. It's just like it got me in the feels, man. I watched it a few times on the morning when it was released. Solid cast like Robert Downey Jr., Florence Pugh, Emily Blunt, Yeah, man, there's a few names in it, but I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the sequel to Evil Dead.
Evil Dead Rises.
Yeah, man. Did you see that image they released?
Or Rising. I can't remember what it's called. No, I haven't seen any images now.
No, nothing major in the image. It's just a girl getting risen out of the water. But I don't know. Like, look, I think that first, the remake is one of the best remakes of all time. Maybe I think it's earned like it's a cult status following after it. Like, I wasn't that hot on it when it was released, but that was a different time when it was released. Like, when was that? When did the first one come out?
The original film?
No. The Eddie, what's it called? Shit, what's the director called? Fuck.
2013.
2013, right? Yeah. Yeah, that was like what, nearly 10 years ago. Yeah, different time, man. Different time. I wasn't like blown away by it back then, but since then, and it's one of them horror films that it's always been a go-to. I've rewatched it a number of times since its release. And I think just as like a remake of the original Evil Dead, I don't really care much for the OG Evil Dead. I like Evil Dead 2. I really like Army of Darkness. But yeah, the first one doesn't.
Let's stop talking about this before you fuck me off. Okay.
Speaking of Evil Dead, no, that goes okay. I appreciate it, but okay. I've got a Dynamite poster, but that's about it.
Fair. Yeah, what was it? I just recently found out the premise of M. Night Shyamalan's new film. Still haven't seen the trailers yet or anything, but I saw the premise on IMDb and I was like, oh shit, that looks cool. I'm gonna check it out now. Still haven't seen the trailer, but I can't wait to watch that film. I don't even know.
Well, you know more than me because I haven't checked out the premise. I only checked out the trailer. I only know what's going on in the trailer. The trailer was pretty vague, if I'm being honest.
Okay. Yeah, Rupert Grint's in it as well, and I was like, holy shit, I didn't know Ron Weasley's in it. That's badass.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Rupert Grint and the best actor to come out of the WWE, which is 100% David Bautista. The guy is absolutely killing it. Like, and especially after I've seen Glass Onion, like his performance in Glass Onion, man, it just solidifies him as like an amazing actor. And I think it's, like, if I'm being honest, I think we're going to see a turnaround next year when it comes to The Rock, unfortunately, Dwayne Johnson. I don't think his movies are going to perform the way they have been the last 10 years. Because he's really good in the one action role that he can do, but he's got only one speed. Whereas Dave Bautista has many ranges, improved it. He's done the action, he's done the drama, he's done the comedic. Like, he's firing on all cylinders, Dave Bautista.
I fucking adored him in the Blade Runner sequel. Holy shit.
Subtle, but amazing.
Oh, I loved it so much. I thought it was wonderful, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, I look forward to seeing him in this one. It just looks so quirky. Yeah, I hope I do enjoy it. Because obviously with M. Night Shyamalan, you never know what you're going to get. But as a big time fan of his, I got to check it out, and I will do the first chance I get. And we'll see. Last of Us as well, that's coming out real soon, a couple of weeks, I think, actually. So whoop, it's going to be sick.
Is it January that comes out?
I think so, yeah, if I remember correctly.
Cool.
I
want to say that I'm really looking forward to it, but like that would be an absolute lie. Like, I'm partially looking forward to it. I'm just glad HBO have it, because HBO normally do good shit, man.
Yeah, man. It'll be cool. It'll be cool if they fucking finally nail something proper when it comes to video game adaptation. I can't wait.
Well, you mustn't have seen the 1995 Mortal Kombat, but okay.
Yeah, I have seen it. You turd.
Oh, all right. Oh, okay.
I had diarrhea for weeks when I finished watching that film. I didn't like it even as a child, dude. I respect what I was going for.
Oh my god.
I respect what I was going for, dude. I respect what I was going for. Just wasn't my scenario, man. Yeah, anyway, what about New Year's resolutions, dude?
New Year's resolutions. Oh my god. I mean, as far as movies go, my New Year's resolution is always to stop smoking. Fags, I'm doing pretty well so far, so I'll just keep that going. But I'm going to go and see more movies in the cinema. That's going to be my thing that I need to do next year. Smaller films as well, I think, if they still play.
That's fine. It's been
almost... doing this end of the year list at the moment, it's like, oh my god, I didn't see that, and it's like catching up on a lot of them now. I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have minded seeing that in the cinema, but hey ho.
I still haven't seen The Menu yet.
Yeah, I know. Same. That's another one that I know. I'm not going to end up seeing that before I do my list. I know that, but it is what it is.
And the Americans have Babylon and The Whale, and we don't have those films yet, bastard.
No, I can't. Yeah, I'd be lying if I was like super stoked on seeing The Whale. Like, I would be lying. Like, I do like what's it called? Darren Aronofsky. You know, Requiem for a Dream, Black Swan, and what was the other one? He done Mother. I haven't seen Mother yet. I still ain't seen Mother.
Wrestler.
Did he do The Wrestler?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a sick film. Yeah, man. I didn't know he did that.
Yeah,
Shame
man.
on me. Shame on me.
Remarkable
I've got The Wrestler
film.
down there as well. That is a great film. Mickey Rourke's best role of all time. 100%.
Mm-hmm. In my opinion, yeah, I think it's a full-blown masterpiece, that film.
Yeah, it is. You know what, right? I had about... Back in the day when the PSP first came out and you could get them VOD discs.
UMD.
UMD, that was it. I had The Fast and the Furious, I had Blade 2, I had The Knight's Tale, and I had The Wrestler.
Nice.
That was like that was my go-to.
That was my first time watching American History X was on one of those PSPs.
Oh, was it really? No way.
Yeah, my fourth favorite film of all time, and my first time watching it was on a train coming back from Chester, seeing my girlfriend at the time, coming back to my hometown Bath, and all the way on the train ride home, I was watching it, and it was fucking amazing.
Yeah, man.
Sick as fuck. Those things were handy, man. But yeah, sick, man.
Yeah. There was something else I wanted to bring up quickly. Oh yeah, I am really interested in watching Babylon. It's a bit of a shame we can't get that one before now. I heard it's like this 3-hour just drugs, sex, old Hollywood mess of a film, but it sounds right up my street, to be honest. But yeah, any more sort of anticipated for next year?
Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh yeah. That's a big one.
Creed 3 and The Whale. Those are the main ones I'm after. Hell yeah,
yeah, The Whale's good. Like it's good seeing Brendan Fraser get all this acclaim again. He was obviously like I don't know about you, but he was a big part of my childhood. He was he was George of the Jungle before I knew him in The Mummy as a good old Rick. But
he was also sick in Blast from the Past. Amazing film. Funny as fuck.
Yeah, and Bedazzled as well. Give him that.
Oh, God, yeah.
Amazing. But yeah, man, I just hope 2023 continues in this original movie making time that we're in. Because we didn't mention it, but like even like a film like Everything Everywhere All at Once, which it's almost going to take the Batman's top spot. I don't know yet. Like I'd have to watch it again, but like if I was going to say what I've watched this year, I've watched the most is the Batman, so I don't know whether it can take that top spot. But just as filmmaking, Everywhere All at Once, like especially editing, I never noticed editing in a film, but that one is edited amazingly. Like
perfection, man! Like it's on a whole new level. I don't know how they did it.
Yeah, man, 100%. Like
yeah, man, amazing.
But yeah, like you were saying at the start of the stream, like I think the year's been pretty mediocre, and I know that might sound mental because it's the most films we've had in a couple of years. Because it is, we've been through like hell the last couple of years, and there hasn't been a lot come out, and this is the most that's come out. But I think it's been pretty average. I think Top Gun's maybe is like the overall arching story of 2022 because I think it is pretty remarkable story, the backstory with that film and how it was shot and things like that. Not necessarily my favorite film of the year, but I think that's what 2022 will be remembered for, if personally. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to next year, and hopefully
Why
we'll
do you
get
think
something
it's mediocre?
What of a year this year?
Yeah, like when it comes to film.
I just do. I haven't gave a 5-star to anything.
Not even Batman or Top Gun.
No, it's not a 5-star film. No.
What about Everything Everywhere All at Once?
No, because it's too long.
Fair enough.
There's
Interesting.
not been just a perfect. Oh, whoa, that was. I'm not gonna lie. The Banshees, for what that was going for, what type of film that is, that could possibly be a 5 out of 5. But then again, what do I think about? Is it Martin McDowell's other films like In Bruges, 3 Billboards? I've just got that picked up that recently, which I've seen before, but I just want to watch it again because Sam Rockwell and Woody Harrelson. Let's go.
I fucking loved 3 Billboards, dude. I fucking loved it so much.
I loved it when I first watched it. I thought it was pretty amazing, like especially like Sam Rockwell sort of like arc in the film. But yeah, have you seen 7 Psychopaths by him?
Yeah, man, solid little flick.
Oh
solid
my god, so good! And Sam Rockwell in that film again is just so fucking amazing. When he's telling Colin Farrell about his script and he's like reliving it. It's so good, man. So
it's
good.
A good film, man. It's good.
Yeah, like you know what I found, just really quick before we go, right? Like, you know what I find hard about doing this top 10 list? It's like, what's my favorite and what do I just objectively think the best film is? I can't like find the difference. Do you understand what I'm saying? So like,
it's hard to separate yourself.
So the
from
Batman's my favorite film of the year, but I wouldn't say it's the best made film of the year. If that makes sense.
Yeah, you know, I'd say Batman. Possibly. I mean, that one is already one of the best films I've seen all year, and the fact I'm saying that about anything Batman related is shocking as fuck. Just is.
I think it's just pretty impressive that he managed to get people back on board with that when there's such reverence to them Nolan films. You know, people go really nuts about them films.
Fuck yeah, man. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Anyway, mate.
Yeah, I'm getting bloody. Yeah, I think we should do some kind of dying here, man.
I've just fallen asleep on stream, man. For fuck's sake, what's going on?
I would never do that, but I'm
only joking.
I'm fighting.
Right, we'll call it. Right, we'll call it there, mate. We'll do another stream with the new. I'm not going to do much editing to this. It's just going to be boom straight out. But yeah, man. Happy New Year to everyone. I hope you have a good New Year, mate.
Yeah, you too, brother. I do have loads of Malibu in my freezer right now, and I intend on fully getting on that after I have a nap. Or it might be like a 10-hour nap, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Mate, get your disco nap in and get on the Malibu. Let's go. Right, mate. Nice one. Thank you for doing this.
Okay.
Cheers, guys.
No need to thank me, brother. It doesn't cost me a thing.
Right.
Cool, man.
See you later. Thanks, guys.
Take care, bro.